Good afternoon, children. Welcome back to your science class. Today, we will talk about bacteria, virus and the protozoa. We are continuing the chapter Microorganism and we have talked about the algae and fungi groups. So today, let's start with the first one, and that is the bacteria. I gave you an introduction in the first class of this chapter. What I told that these all are microscopic. That's why they are called microorganisms. Okay. So obviously the first three types that I told on that day, bacteria, virus and protozoa, these three are completely microscopic. That means we cannot see those with our naked eyes. But I told previous day that algae and fungi, some are microscopic and some are macroscopic. But in these three cases, bacteria, virus and protozoa, all three groups are truly microscopic. So this is the first one we are going to discuss today. So let's begin the class. The first, and here are some features. The first point is small and unicellular. Obviously they are small because they are microorganisms. So they should be very small in size that we cannot see those with our naked eyes, right? Now, what is the meaning of unicellular? Cell is the basic structure and functional unit of the body. Just like building blocks of a building or bricks in a building. Just like a single cell is the entire body of this microorganism, especially bacteria. Just single cell. Cell can be round in shape or some irregular in shape or some rod shaped. There are so many shapes found in the environment in terms of cell. And uni. What is the meaning of uni? Uni means only one cell. That means bacteria contain only one cell in their body. Okay. The next point is found everywhere. Of course, bacteria or any kind of microorganisms found everywhere. Like in soil, in case of water body, in our atmosphere, everywhere they are present. Okay. The next point is flagella. Children, we have some organs for our movement, like our hands, like our legs. We can move these organs and through this organ we can change our places, right? But a bacteria containing only one cell, it do not have any such kind of hands or legs for the movement. And but they have to move, obviously, for the food source, to protect themselves from the predators. So they have to move in the environment. But the movement is done by this unique structure present in the body. So flagella is a filamentous or thread-like structure present in any surfaces or any points in the outer surface of the bacteria body. So look at the structure. A filamentous or thread-like structure present in the outer surface of the body of the bacteria is termed as flagella. Or what we can say about flagella? Flagella is the active locomotory organ of the bacteria that helps the bacteria to change its place, or it helps in the movement or locomotion of the bacteria. So I hope this is very clear to you. So it's a very important point in terms of the bacteria. Okay. Now the next thing is binary fission. This thing, binary fission. This is a new term. You already learned about this binary term in your computer syllabus, right? So binary means something that represents in two. Okay. And fission means something is divided into so many parts. So what should be the meaning of binary fission? It should be the division in terms of 2 in number. So if a bacteria cell is divided into 2 new bacteria, just 2 in number. So now we can say it is a binary fission. That means one bacteria is divided into two different daughter bacteria or children bacteria, and this is strictly 2 in number. So this type of fission is termed as binary fission, of course, and fission means division. So what is the significance or importance of binary fission in case of bacteria? This is a term of reproduction in case of bacteria. One bacteria or mother bacteria is divided into two children bacteria in terms of only 2 in number. That's why the reproduction procedure in terms of bacteria is termed as binary fission. Okay. The next is classified into 4 types. Children, in our environment, some living thing is classified into several types based on their morphology or their outlook, how they look, how they behave, how they perform, or how they survive in the atmosphere. Okay, in terms of bacteria, we told you that there are so many shapes and sizes. Some are round shaped, some are elongated or irregular shaped, some are comma shaped, okay, and some are typically filamentous or thread-like shaped. There are so many shapes present in case of bacteria. So, based on the shapes or the outer looking of the bacteria, they are classified into 4 types. And first one is bacilli, second one is cocci, next one is spirilla, and the last one is vibrio. So, children, you have to prepare these 4 terms with proper spelling. Now, these 4 terms are different types of bacteria, especially based on their shape. Okay. Now, what is the importance of bacteria? What are the examples of bacteria? Now, bacteria can be very useful to us, can be very harmful to us. Okay. We are very fond of eating yogurt or curd, right? Okay. The curd is prepared from the milk. Milk contains lactose sugar. Lactose sugar is converted into lactic acid in the presence of some special bacteria that transforms the milk into the curd. That's why this bacteria or that special bacteria is very much helpful to us to produce the curd from the milk. I'm repeating again. Milk containing lactose sugar is converted into lactic acid that transforms the milk into the curd. And this transformation from lactose to lactic acid is done by a special bacteria. That is the lactobacillus bacteria. Lactobacillus bacteria, look at the name, lacto, that means it performs with the lactose sugar, and why it is bacillus? Because it belongs to the bacilli group of bacteria. So, this bacteria is very helpful in the food processing industries as well as in our home. Okay. Now, let's talk about some very harmful bacteria like cholera. Cholera is a very common disease in nowadays, in the ancient times. It's a health and hygiene disease. This disease is caused by a bacteria called Vibrio cholerae. Obviously belongs to the Vibrio or Vibrio group. You can say it Vibrio, you can say it Vibrio, anything of your choice. But this bacteria is caused, this bacteria causes a disease called cholera. Just like tuberculosis is a very common disease. Okay. And this disease is also caused by a specialized bacteria called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Children, you don't need to memorize the specialized bacteria names, but just prepare yourself to put some names, some common easy names to write down in your bacteria example in your exam paper. Okay, just like cholera bacteria or or tuberculosis bacteria, etc. Okay, so I hope the bacteria concept is now very clear to you. Now, you will learn about the next one, that is the virus group. actually started this chapter with a topic, and that is very relevant nowadays, and that is the coronavirus. So, and we are passing through this pandemic situation due to a virus, and very deadly and highly dangerous virus. Okay, so virus is very important. You need to learn about the virus, and there is some features again, just like bacteria. The first one is these are extremely small. These are smaller than the bacteria even. Okay, we cannot see those with our naked eye obviously, but microscopes are also a device that are used to observe this kind of smallest, tiniest creatures in the environment. But these are so small, simple microscopes are not used to see this kind of groups, this kind of microorganisms. Some very powerful microscopes, just like electron microscopes, are used to observe the viruses. So let me clear you that these are extremely small and even smaller than the bacteria. Okay. The next one is the parasite. You got the concept of parasite in your previous standard and in the chapter plant nutrition. Let's recapitulate once again. What is a parasite? An organism that cannot produce their own food, or that depends on others for their food, living on that organism's body. Okay. All the living organisms can be of two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic means they can produce their own food by the photosynthesis process, just like green plants. And all the animals are the heterotrophic one. We do not produce their own food. Actually, we cannot produce their own our own food, but we directly or indirectly depend on other organisms for our food. So we are in heterotrophic category. But parasites are such kind of heterotrophic nutrition. In this case, the organisms who needs the help, okay, who needs the help, it has to live in the helper's body. Okay. So this is the specialized type of nutrition mode under the heterotrophic one. They do not produce their own food, but they depends on others. That other organism that helps is termed as helper, and this or host, and these organisms are termed as parasite. That means parasites depend on their host by living inside or outside of the host body, just like louses or lice in our head. Okay, so lice in our head sucks the blood from the scalp directly. Okay, so these are the parasite. They depends on us or humans for their food source, but they live in the host's body. So these are the parasites. Leeches, they are also blood sucker. These are the all parasites. This worm present in our body, in our intestine, that somehow helps to digest the food, or sometimes they are very harmful and causes so many diseases inside the body. So parasites can present inside the body or outside of the host body. Viruses are also parasite. Why? We told you that in the first introductory class, that is, virus is the intermediate between a living and non-living thing. When virus is roaming around alone in the atmosphere, they are in dead condition. But when it attacks some organism or some plant or in some animal, they comes with the living features in their body. So they are the intermediate stage between the living and non-living, and that's why these are all parasites, and they need the living cell for their growth, development and survival. Okay. Next, mostly harmful. We already learned about so many diseases caused by the viruses, like in case of winter or season change, we are suffering from the influenza viruses, fever, common cold, cough, sneezing, etc. And these are all caused by the virus, and especially influenza virus. Coronavirus is a very good example of viruses. Very recently, and they are mostly harmful. Polio is a very common disease throughout the world. Mumps. Actually, virus causes so many diseases in plants also. We told you in the introductory class of this chapter that is some viruses can cause the disease in case of plant also, like tobacco mosaic virus causing the harm to tobacco plant. Bean mosaic virus or pea mosaic virus causes the harm or deadly, dangerous for the plants, beans and peas respectively, etc. So they can cause damages in case of both animals and as well as the plants also. Okay. Here is a new term, that is the bacteriophage. Now you can tell me, this is the topic of virus, and why is it here a bacteria? Yes. So let's split the word bacterio and phages. Phages is the type of bacteria that attacks, phages is the type of virus that attacks the bacteria. So, the virus attacking the bacteria are termed as bacteriophage. It has a very interesting structure. A hexagonal head, okay, elongated body and some basal rod-like filament. Isn't it a very interesting structure? Yes. So these are the phage virus that can attack a bacteria. So bacteria are also affected by the viruses. So these are mostly harmful and very deadly for the whole environment and whole living organisms. Okay. And the last one is some examples. I already told that polio, corona, influenza, Ebola virus is a Ebola virus had the outbreak in the previous years, and we are very familiar with this term Ebola virus, Zika virus, herpes virus, even the pox diseases, chicken pox, smallpox, all these diseases are caused by the virus. Okay. So I hope the entire thing, bacteria and virus, are now very clear to you. Okay. Thank you.